All right, welcome back to First Take. It is time for a quick take. Dillon Gabriel threw 3 touchdowns while going 12 of 15 for 183 yards in the Browns' 37-13 win over the Patriots last night. Harry Douglas, what was your reaction to Gabriel just going off?
Yeah, I thought he did a great job of, number one, being efficient, being decisive in his decision-making. But then when the play had to go off script, utilizing his athleticism to be able to get the ball downfield. We know this about Dillon Gabriel because he spent a lot of time at the collegiate level. He can process information very, very well and understands how to go through reads and be accurate. It's just his size, the lack of it. That's one of the things that's knocking him in this league. But, 31 other teams are watching this tape. And they're going to say, hey, man, if Cleveland doesn't want him, let's try to give him a chance, bring him in camp, coach him up a little bit more and see if we have something there.
Do you think they keep 4 quarterbacks on this roster?
Here's my thing. There's another 4th-string quarterback that I like more so than Dillon Gabriel. So I would get rid of him.
You would get rid of him. Okay, and that would open the floodgates for other teams. Okay, let's go to Josh Allen here. He got a new perspective last night during the Bills' 28-27 preseason win over the Steelers as the former MVP traded in his helmet for a headset, giving insight and going over decisions with head coach Joe Brady. Brady joked post-game that Allen was the one calling shots during the fourth quarter comeback, but said the quarterback mainly was giving his thoughts on different situations. Now, the Bills have 10-1 odds to win Super Bowl 61. That's tied with the Ravens for the second shortest odds behind the Rams. Buffalo has had 10-1 or shorter preseason Super Bowl odds in 4 of the last 5 seasons. Obviously, they have yet to make it there. So why should we believe Josh Allen can get to the Super Bowl now this year, Kevin?
He's the best quarterback in the world right now, at this very moment, because there are questions about a lot of other quarterbacks right now. There are very few about Josh Allen. Now, do I believe that they're going to win the Super Bowl this year? No, I do not. But I do think there's a case to be made. Joe Brady being the head coach, him being more comfortable in that offense, DJ Moore being the best receiver they've had in a few years, the offensive line being where it is. It's a very good offensive line. There's some cases to be made. That roster still has holes, but guess what? So does every team in the AFC. I would not be surprised at all if they win the AFC. I just don't see the Bills, even though he's the best player in the world, even though he's got the capability to go into LeBron mode and drag any player on that 53 to the Super Bowl, even though he's got all that going, I don't see this Bills team on the talent level with the Rams, even with the Seahawks or the Eagles.
Josh Allen, Josh Allen, Josh Allen. Y'all do understand this is a team football game, right? And if it was all just Josh Allen, then the Buffalo Bills would have been made to Super Bowl by now. It's about that defense elevating and being better than they have been over the last few years. Let's go back to 13 seconds on the clock when you're on the road at Kansas City. Oof. And all you have to do is get a stop and you're advancing. That didn't happen. What about 2 years ago in the AFC Championship game? Well, the offense scored 29 points. Guess what the defense gave up to Kansas City? 32. What about last year? I get it. Josh Allen made some mistakes, but damn, they still scored 30 points. I need my defense to get some stops for me. Guess what? The Denver Broncos scored 33. Jim Leonard has pressure on him to get it right for this football team so they can potentially make it to a Super Bowl.
The Buffalo Bills will make it to the Super Bowl because Josh Allen is the ultimate equalizer. When they have holes on their offense, when that offensive line isn't blocking perfectly, when he didn't have the offensive group around him, he still made it happen. And you go out and you get Jimmy Leonard, one of my former teammates, who was at Wisconsin, who's bringing a more aggressive style defense to this Buffalo Bills defense. I think that he's going to get it done. And when you think about James Cook, who we fail to mention a lot of times, when you go out and you get DJ Moore, a true #1 wide receiver, that gives Josh Allen everything he needs to put the city of Buffalo on his back and carry them to LA to the Super Bowl. So for me, I think this is the year that Josh Allen gets past the AFC East championship game, AFC championship game, and gets to the Super Bowl.
Those fans deserve it.
I agree with that.
They deserve it for years.
Leonard, though, I was there in camp a couple weeks ago. They're running a 3-4 now. They're going to unlock some stars. A guy like Greg Rousseau is going to be able to use his length and speed in a way he wasn't able to. So I do think there's something there, Donte.
All right, welcome back to First Take. Back-to-back reigning Defensive Player of the Year and the consensus best defensive player in the league. Myles Garrett will don a new jersey in Los Angeles this season after being traded to the Rams this summer for a haul as LA goes all in for the Super Bowl. Meanwhile, in Green Bay, star edge rusher Micah Parsons will miss at least the first 4 games of the season as he continues to rehab from an ACL injury. Parsons, though, isn't lacking in confidence as the season approaches. Listen to this.
I can confidently say I'm the best in the world.
At what?
I'm the best football player in the world. if I said, Myles, you the best, you wouldn't want to be around me because you just
Hell no.
yeah, like, you want that. Like, you want people chasing after you. Like, that's a good sign.
I don't know how it's a competition right now, but I appreciate his banter. Keeps me going.
See, the problem with Myles is he really is delusional enough to think it's not a competition. I could confidently say I'm the best in the world.
At what?
I'm the best football player in the world. On the defensive side of the ball.
On the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
See, you don't got to make that distinction. I'm the best player in the world, bar none.
I love that. I could listen to that for like 20 more minutes. Who is more important to their team's success? Is it Myles Garrett or is it Micah Parsons when obviously everyone is healthy? Dante?
Michael Parsons can raise Green Bay's ceiling, but Myles Garrett can literally hand the LA Rams the Lombardi Trophy. So I have to go with Garrett because the LA Rams are set up to win this Super Bowl right now. And think about what they have. They have the quarterback. They have the offensive system. They have the offensive weapons. They have the defense. And then you add a guy like Myles Garrett who makes you slide protections, who gets 101s for everybody else. And then he makes your defense and your secondary so much better because those guys know that they don't have to cover for nothing but 3-4 seconds and that ball is coming out. So I have to go with Myles Garrett. If Myles Garrett is in a game, playoff game, 3rd and 8, that's more valuable than anything that Micah Parsons can do because you know that he would literally run through a brick wall, and he's a 2-time defending NFL Defensive Player of the Year. So Myles Garrett is a better player, and he adds more value to his team.
It's hard to disagree with you, but then I remember like when Micah Parsons got hurt, the Green Bay Packers didn't win a game.
Oh, don't worry, Shay.
They didn't win one
That's
game.
going to be a part of this analysis. The last 5 games for the Green Bay Packers, they lost all 5. And what Michael Parsons provides, not saying that Myles Garrett can't do this, but there's something to a pass rusher that can line up in a 0 technique, a 3 technique, a 5 technique, a 9 technique, can line up all over the football field, be at linebacker depth, and create chaos and confusion for offensive linemen. Now, the deficiency, in my opinion, last year for the Green Bay Packers was their secondary. Early on, when Michael Parsons was there, man, they were jumping routes, playing great. I remember that Thursday night football game versus the Washington Commanders. I said, boy, look at those guys in the secondary, jumping routes and playing without any fear. Micah Parsons got hurt, and that secondary looked drastically different. And I think when you look at the Los Angeles Rams, y'all, we viewed them as Super Bowl contenders last year without Myles Garrett.
Like he's a luxury.
And they could have won the Super Bowl last year without Myles Garrett. Yeah. Without Micah Parsons, you talk about the amount of pressure that's going to be on Jordan Love and that offense now to hold things afloat. That's why I'm going with Micah Parsons.
I'll push back and say there were people talking about the Packers being a Super Bowl contender before the trade last year for Micah Parsons. So it's not unheard of that they could have made a run without him. And there are some stats, if you look at it, where everybody literally gets the quarterback faster when Micah Parsons is on the field versus off. Like everybody. Guys on the other side of the play, it doesn't matter. He literally changes the gravity. But the reason I agree with Dante that it's Myles Garrett is that the difference between Myles Garrett and the second best defender in the NFL to me is pretty wide. It is pretty wide. It's bigger than anybody on the offensive side of the ball as far as the talent gap goes. And so when you look at Myles Garrett versus any defensive player, I do radio sometimes with Justin Pugh, and he told me that one of his first games that he was going against Myles Garrett, and there was an opportunity to hit Myles Garrett, and he said, I'm going to give this rookie his welcome to the league moment. And he went up against rookie Myles Garrett, and he said it was like concrete. He fell back.
Yeah.
He somehow gave a 10-year veteran his welcome to the league moment when Myles Garrett was 5 games into a season. He is a different player than anybody in football. We see it. We see him, mocking the quarterback pre-snap with pretending to dribble a basketball.
The crossover.
Yeah, the crossover. He's just, nobody else plays football like him. And so maybe you can say value-wise, sure, there's a case we made it's Micah Parsons, but when you're the best player on one side of the ball, and it's a huge talent gap beyond that, you got to go with Myles Garrett for me.
And then when you look at what this LA Rams secondary was ranked last year, they were ranked somewhere around 26.
Oh, they weren't good.
They weren't good. Do you know what having Myles Garrett on that defensive line does to that secondary?
Makes them better.
It puts you instantly in the top 10. So,
Makes them draft.
yeah, you said they were better without Myles Garrett last year, but the secondary was still one of the detriments of the team and why they didn't win the Super Bowl. So this year, with Myles Garrett, you can almost pencil them in.
And I
Yeah,
agree with you
but-
there because Sam Darnold, throwing for over 300 yards. But that's also another reason why they went and got Trent McDuffie
Yeah.
and Jalen Watson.
Watson.
Yeah.
Right.